Ten,
Nine,
Take studio.
7, 6,
Stomach
5,
camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of MCTV News. I'm your host, Avery Pelletier.
And I'm Avery Thompson. On today's show, my co-host Avery Pelletier brings us an inside piece on this year's year-end celebration. Aidan Chorney brings us the editing and MCTV take on Tally Hall's song The Bidding. Ryder O'Donnell brings us along to the Super Smash Bros. Tournament hosted by St. Albert Catholic High School. Will Compo brings us to the end of our MCTV music video trilogy and a parody of Mexico by Shotgun Willie. And lastly, Brielle Winsor brings us a tribute to me, MCTV's only graduating senior this year. But first, here's our top story.
Local business The Flower Stop is your one-stop shop for all things floral in Morinville. Recently, reporter Ella Boissonneault went to the business to speak to its owners and get a sense of what it's like to run the shop.
This flower and gift shop has been open since the 80s here in Morinville, a place where people can go for all their gifted needs and for any special occasion in their life.
So the flower shop has been here for just over 40 years, but I worked here actually way back in high school too, so I've been with the flower shop for a long time on and off and with the original owner, so it's got a big place in my heart.
I have a little mix of everything. It depends what they need me to do that day, but mostly I am a customer service worker. But if they need me to make any bundles, I'll make some bundles. I can make arrangements. I do deliveries every now and again.
I bought it back in April of 2016, so we're just over 7 years now.
When my mom bought it 7 years ago, I've been helping her on and off, but I have been on full-time and as a partner since October of just this past year.
This mother and daughter duo and their team here at the Flower Stop work hard to provide the best quality products and service for their customers. But what exactly is all offered here?
It is the cutest little gift shop where you can get all your little gift needs. If you ever need a last minute present, we have everything from flowers to bath stuff. We have drinkware, candles.
For our giftware, we do try and have, we've got a number of consignment people, so local people who make stuff and bring it in here to sell.
With the flowers, we do wedding consultations, funerals, special events, basically any kind of florals that you require. We thrive on being and pride ourselves on being a one-stop shop for everything you need.
The Flower Stop is much more than just a store for buying things, but it's a place of community in this small town.
So we meet our customers where they're at, in the season they're at, no matter what they're celebrating, and that is, we want to provide a safe and welcoming space for whoever comes in our doors, and that is our pride and joy.
Every time you come in, you can always count on finding at least a little something. And we do have some really good customer service, so yeah, whatever you need, you can always find here.
You know, for people to come in and see exactly what we have. A lot of people think that we are just a flower shop, when in fact we have so much more. So definitely come in, check us out. We love our customers, we love the community.
Make sure to show your support to these small town businesses because they offer so much. Quality, friendliness, variety, you name it. And with that, this is Ella Boissonneault reporting for MCTV News.
Summer vacation is upon us, and students and staff alike are eager to get out and enjoy some much-needed days in the sun. With all the details on the weather to come is our very own in-studio meteorologist, Luke Robinson.
Thanks, Avery. So let's take a look at Canada's forecast for today. Up in Whitehorse, it is a 11 with a little bit of cloud, and up in Yellowknife, it is 16 with quite a bit of cloud. In Vancouver, it is 14 with also some clouds, lots of clouds out in the west today. In Regina, it is cloudy with a 26. In Winnipeg, it is partly cloudy with a 16. In Iqaluit, it is partly cloudy with a 5. Down in the Maritimes, it is Toronto with a 18, and Montreal with a 23, and Halifax with a 13 and some rain. St. John's mixes sun and cloud and 11. Let's take a look at the Alberta forecast for today. So up in high level, it is a 15 with quite a bit of cloud. Fort Mac is raining with an 11. In Grand Prairie, it is 13 with quite a bit of smoke up there, so it is very cloudy. Down in Edmonton, it is raining with a 13. Jasper, it is heavy rain with a 9. Banff, it's heavy rain as well with a 9. Red Deer, it's a little bit of rain with a 10. Calgary, it's an 11 with a little bit of rain. And Medicine Hat is 22 with some cloud. Let's take a look at the current conditions. Right now it is 12 degrees Celsius with some cloud in the air, and wind is going 27 kilometers an hour northwest. Relative humidity is 90%. Sunrise was at 5:03 a.m. Sunset is at 10:06 p.m. What is this week going to look like, though? Thursday, it'll be a high of 19, a low of 7 with a lot of sun. Friday, it'll be a high of 25, low of 9 with some clouds. Saturday will be 19, a high of 19 with a low of 8. Sunday will be a high of 17 and a low of 8. Monday will be a high of 16, low of 7. Tuesday will be a high of 17, a low of 8. And Wednesday will be a high of 16 and a low of 8. Back to you, Avery.
Thanks, Luke. Things at MCHS are wrapping up as our 2022-2023 school year comes to an end. Sandwiched between final exams and classes wrapping up was our year-end celebration, which provides our student and staff with some much-needed time to reflect on the past school year. My co-host Avery Pelletier brings you this report.
The 2022 to 2023 school year is finally coming to a close. On Tuesday, June 6th, students and staff of MCHS gathered at the Morinville Community Cultural Center for a year-end celebration which contained a mix of faith and fun.
Every celebration has a team of teachers with their ideas, with their enthusiasm, and of course with the Holy Spirit helping us put this stuff together. These celebrations have been wonderful. My part is just organizing the script, sending it off to Father, and organizing the Google Slides. Being involved in this is, for me, shows compassion, and also that they want to know Christ better.
Once the mass portion of the celebration was complete, 4 students were called on stage for a trivia game involving our school's HOWLS acronym. Shortly after, Mrs. Cormier took to the stage to reveal a revamped HOWLS banner and a banner containing a newly penned mission statement for MCHS.
A vision for the school is what the school aspires to be. We need to build and maintain a culture that reflects our mission and core values in order to be the school we aspire to be.
Finally, a year-end video compiled by Ms. Schmode and Ms. Amaya was displayed, as well as a surprise farewell video for departing Vice Principal Mrs. Cormier.
At MCHS, we have such a great student body and staff, and we offer so much here that I wanted to make sure that everyone, even if they weren't in the video, felt like they could see themselves in it.
Overall, the celebration was a great opportunity for students and teachers alike to reflect on the year past and consider their hopes for the summer and the new school year to come.
I'm most proud of myself for passing all of my classes this year.
I think this year I'm most proud of our grade 12s. We have a really unique group of grade 12s who are so ambitious, and I know that they're going to change the world.
I'm looking forward to having more free time and being able to do what I want this summer.
I'm going to just wish every student to stay safe, make good choices this summer. Life is going to just throw you a lot of punches, but I know what you've learned here at MCHS and from teachers and the support that I think have given you all. I wish you all the best luck.
For MCTV News, I'm Avery Pelletier reporting. Here are your school announcements for Wednesday, June 14th. Alberta Health Services has just announced that they will be offering 4 internship positions in Westlock this summer. Please see Mr. Lessard as soon as possible if this is of interest to you. It's exam season. Make sure you know when your exams are by checking the school's website and study hard beforehand. Additionally, please be mindful that grade 12 diploma exams are taking place, so keep quiet in the halls to maintain a focused work environment for our grads. For these and all other school information, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements, logging on to the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, or by following the school on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. As well, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching MCTV Morinville.
This past year, 3 of our MCTV crew members have discovered a passion for parody. And this up-and-coming MCTV musician is one said crew member to have caught the cold from these sick beats. A cold that can only be treated by releasing an equally, if not sicker, beat. Aiden Chorney makes his mark on the MCTV music scene with the smash debut, The Editing.
I've been sleeping in a cardboard box, spending every hour at the editing shop. And even though I know I haven't got a lot, I'll try to give you video until the day you drop. I've been training like a Pavel dog, let my independence have to take a hike. All you gotta do is activate my computer, and I'll edit anything you like. Going once, going twice, every editor has a price. Over where, over there, sold to not a single video. I've been in there like 1,000 times, edit every video in the atmosphere. I've been to every continent, broken all the videos in every shop. And if I'm not the type of guy you like to edit with, just remember not to love me when I diss. I graduated at the top. I like to take advantage of an editing class. So if you have a fantasy of being a news reporter, maybe you should blow a couple clips on me. Going once, going twice, won't these editors suffice? Any here, any there, any monitor, anywhere. Going twice, going thrice. Guess this means we'll go 4 times a video. I promise I'll be all you ever need. You'll never have to edit around, but don't edit around. And I'll edit anything you ever need. Don't worry, I will never let you down, let you down. Don't worry, I'll never let you down. So many people are waiting for our videos, and the prospects are good, but the videos are never great. Over here, over there, over where, anywhere. They're too busy with winning their skills to care and be sold.
Welcome back. Here with all the recent sports league updates, including the NHL and MLB, is our very own sports analyst, Bree Farough.
Thanks, Avery. And the NHL last night saw the Vegas Golden Knights win their first ever Stanley Cup after beating the Florida Panthers 9-3. Captain Mark Stone had the first hat trick in a Stanley Cup, clinching the game since 1922. And Jonathan Marchessault was named the Conn Smythe Trophy winner as most valuable player during the playoffs.
Woo! Yeah, Vegas! Woo!
In the NBA, on Monday night, the Denver Nuggets scored a tight victory over the Miami Heat 94-89, winning the league championship series 4-1. In the MLB, the Baltimore Orioles nearly doubled the Toronto Blue Jays 11-6. The New York Yankees squeezed by the Mets 7-6. The Atlanta Braves were outdone by the Detroit Tigers 6-5. The Minnesota Twins beat the Milwaukee Brewers 5-7, and the San Francisco Giants crushed the St. Louis Cardinals 11-3. Up next, in the festive end-year spirit, SACHS called all gamers from across the district to battle it out in the Super Smash Bros. Tournament. The battle was fierce, and our fellow reporter Ryder O'Donnell not only participated in the heat, but caught all the action to bring us this report.
I'm here at SACHS for the Smash Bros. Tournament. Right now, we are currently waiting for the preparations for the show.
As far as the esports tournament, you know what? I went to a conference and I found out about esports, and I'm excited about it because I think there's a group of kids that actually love this. Well, I know they're not actually. They love this stuff. And so I'm hoping that we can get that group of kids doing some team-oriented sport. There hasn't been a lot of troubles. I was able to find some contacts through an esport conference, and now we have our competition today.
I've been playing Smash since I was about 12, and my first Smash game was Smash for the 3DS. What made me interested in Smash was that for like the longest time in my life I've been playing video games. Smash was one of the first ones that I got on my Wii, and from that point on I just kept playing the newest games until eventually Ultimate came out and I got my Switch and I was like, hey, you know, might as well cave in and get the newest one. Smash Ultimate is much more fast-paced and there's a lot more content to it. Plus, a bunch of my favorite characters recently got added as DLC. Whenever I play online with my friends, I do play with a competitive rule set, but I do add in stuff like custom stages and all that for a little bit more of a fun factor to it. Strategies, press buttons and hope to win. I really just play for fun. You don't know how many times I've just done stupid stuff with my friends in calls. It's amazing. Favorite part of the tournament? Definitely getting to top 3. I didn't get a prize, but I mean, I was shocked that I actually made it that far.
It was a game that I could play with friends and family, and, you know, just for fun, and also it had a bunch of different characters from a lot of video games I enjoyed, like, you know, Sonic, Mario, Donkey Kong, you know. My first Smash game was Super Smash Bros. Brawl, and I've been playing, so I'd want to say 10-ish years, 10 to 11 years. My favorite Smash game is definitely Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because it's the one that got me really into competitive games and also just the one I spent the most time on, most fun characters and mechanics. So I'd say that's my favorite. It was really stressful, but I clutched it out and here we are.
Even though many students did not get a prize, they all had fun competing. For MCTV News, Ryder O'Donnell reporting.
Welcome back. Mrs. Corinna Cormier has worked at MCHS for 21 years now and has been our vice principal for 4 of them. Unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and Mrs. Cormier will be moving on to Richard S. Fowler in the fall. Mrs. Cormier has had a huge impact on many students and our school community as a whole over the years, and we are very pleased to have her in this studio one last time to bid her goodbye. Thank you so much for joining us today, Mrs. Cormier. We really appreciate having you in.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so my first question, just to kind of start off, you've been at MCHS for over 2 decades now. How did you get your start here?
It was interesting, actually. I was in my last year of university, and I got a call from Mrs. Bodner, Mr. Bodner's mom, when she worked at the school, and she said, you know, Corinna, you got to get your application in. We're going to need a music teacher. And so I said, okay, sure. And then I kind of hesitated and left it for a little bit. And she called again. She's like, you really need to get your application in. I said, okay. And I did. And I would have never, ever, ever dreamed that I would have a music position in the town that I grew up in. So it was pretty special. And it was all because of her. Yeah.
It's really good that she pushed you to apply because, you know, look where you are now at this school.
Absolutely, yeah. And I went to school with Mr. Bonner. I don't know if everyone knows that, but yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So then that kind of brings me to the my next question here. So you were a music teacher here at one point, and now you're our vice principal, but you kind of, I think, have filled a variety of different roles here at the school. So how many courses have you taught here? And which one was your favorite?
Wow, I've taught actually a lot, and I was kind of considering that might be a question, and so I kind of looked back at, when I applied for a vice principalship, I had to list my courses, and I want to say I was up to close to 15 at least. I think I've taught at least 15 courses over the years here, yeah. But my favorite, ultimately, music, of course. That was my thing, for sure. I loved it.
You always come back to what you kind of started out with, you know, yeah. So then moving on to this next question is, so after so many years of just, you know, teaching at MCHS, what made you decide to make that transition from, you know, the classroom to, you know, the office and being an administrator for our school?
Yeah, I never thought I would ever move up, actually, as a teacher. I thought I'd be a teacher for forever. But, you know, after a few years of changing courses and trying different things, as much as I love teaching and being in the classroom in front of the kids and teaching music, I just felt like I needed a new challenge. Yeah, I needed something to change up my day, to do something else and lead the school more as a whole instead of just in the classroom. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice to get to see the different kind of side of something you've been a part of for so long. So then my next question that I want to ask you is, are there any sort of particular memories that really stand out to you when you kind of reflect on being at MCHS?
Oh, I have so many, so many. Just band trips alone, I could probably list a million stories on band trips, but there's a lot of memories there for sure, being on trips to BC, being on trips to Saskatchewan, to Peace River. So yeah, I know they've all been pretty fabulous. Another memory was when, I think it was a women's hockey team in 2014, I believe, won that Olympic gold medal. And I had said, if they win the gold, we were all watching in our classrooms, and if they win the gold, we'll play O Canada in center court. And so we did, the whole band went to center court, we played O Canada, and everyone came out of their classrooms, and it was just such a wonderful experience, and we just felt so proud to be able to do that. So that one, even just the collection of 1 million nickels, you know, that with Mr. Nolan's initiative for that Drumming for Change charity drive was something, you know, so unique and special to me. So I don't even know, I could list so many, but those are a few that stand out to me.
That's great. So then I want to ask you now, kind of talked about some of your memories from MCHS. Is there anything in particular that you think you're going to miss most about this school?
Everything. Can I say everything?
I won't stop you.
The students, the staff, the building itself, like parking and walking into the building and seeing that same building for 21 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For sure. So then this brings us sort of to the end of the interview here, and my final question for you is, when you reflect on, you know, your time here at MCHS and, you know, all of the many ways in which you've been a part of this school, what is the impact that you hope you can say that, you know, you've made?
Ooh. I just hope that I've impacted all my students. Here we go. In some way.
I think you definitely have. I think your students would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
That you've been a really big part of this school, and you know it's sad to see you go, but I'm sure you're going to be so appreciated, and you're going to do so well at Fowler. And
thank you.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I know I have some students who gone on to be music teachers and musicians, and I know that I've talked to so many over the years in my role as a vice principal. So, and that role was different. I think that I was like the loved music teacher for so many years, and then I had to be this maybe harder, meaner person who held down the law at school. So yeah, I hope that even in that way, though, I hope that I was able to help students on their course and help them change their path or guide them on the right path or whatever it might be, but I really do. And even the staff, I've made so many wonderful friends on the staff, so I hope that those will be remaining lasting friendships as well. So,
I think you definitely have. I'm sure many students would agree that you've made a really big impact on them.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for coming to do this interview today.
You're welcome.
Wish you all the best at Fowler and in just the rest of your life in general. And
Perfect.
Maybe we'll see you around here eventually sometime soon.
I'm coming back, I hope. Anyways, thank you.
So, on the topic of goodbyes, there's another very special person we'd like to say farewell to this episode. She's a performer, a graphic specialist, and an overall wonderful person to be around. She's Avery. And no, I'm not referring to myself. I'm talking about my co-host, Miss Avery Thompson. Reporter Brielle Winsor brings you this special tribute piece for Season 29's sole graduating crew member.
Avery has worked with me on the show for the last 3 seasons.
I started in grade 10. I did have the choice to do it in grade 9, and I said no. I wanted to do cosmetology.
I'm not even sure why Avery took MCTV. I don't know, it was because Liam maybe told her to take the course, I don't know.
When I first started, I thought that Baudestein was a mean old dragon man who would yell at me if I messed up.
I don't know, we tend to have just the weirdest conversations, but we tend to, I think we get each other at a kind of a weird level.
And now I sit there and sing Fergie with him. So
working with her is so fun. It's specifically show days that are always the best, because if you're in the back room, it means you were with Avery.
I always enjoyed having her in the control room because we would always play off each other.
So if you're side by side, she's always having something to say. Either when Booter's directing and he says something funny, she's on it. Or when like chaos is happening in studio and we're back here, she always has some kind of like just a funny remark about it, and it's really fun.
I mean, she's been the queen of graphics this year.
Graphics. It always was graphics.
Graphics. Of the...
I know she's worked, quite a few of the positions she's been. I think I would say almost all the positions at some time or another she's at least worked them at least once.
She signed up for Switch one week and then had nightmares for 3 days about it, and so she has not done Switch. So,
Avery always knew what she was doing, even if it was a job that she was just trying out because Mr. Baudestein told her she had to. And she's very serious about what she does, but she's also absolutely hilarious. So I know that she always has our backs while still making it a really fun experience.
Yeah, she's been a blast to work with over the last several seasons for sure.
I would say some words that describe Avery are hilarious.
Bubbly.
Strong, determined, and vivacious.
She's passionate. She's funny.
Joyful.
She's definitely somebody who you can have a good laugh with.
And for lack of a better word, slay.
Just a really beautiful person.
My favorite Avery memory.
When I kind of went Shakespearean on everybody, and her and Liam were kind of laughing it up pretty hard. That was a really good memory. I remember that.
Baudestein reporting Shakespeare, the entire soliloquy, and then ending it with, for MCTV News reporting, Craig Baudestein.
That's what I really enjoy about Avery, and that's what I'm going to miss about working with her when she won't be here next year, is just those random little one-offs that we have, and there's a lot of them.
We sit right beside each other in the corner on our computers, and if one of us would be working on something, we would just start talking, and then we'd waste the rest of the class talking. But don't worry, we got our work done anyway, Mr. Baudestein.
I could be dead set in my work trying to get it done, and she's like, I think I'm going to write a musical about Monster High. And you're like, okay, good for you. And then 10 minutes later, she'll have this is the first song. And you're like,
with Avery, there's something new and funny every single day. She's such a great person to be around.
Avery is her energy is really infectious. She's just this really, just this big beam of positivity when she comes in. She always seems to have a smile on her face.
It's a crew, and it's a family. Literally, it is a family now. We've created that dynamic.
So with that, all the best to you, kiddo. I wish you all the best moving forward, wherever life is going to take you, and please, don't be a stranger. Keep in touch, and I'd love to hear where your adventures take you in the future. Take care.
Because this was her parting words to Liam, and it's my parting words to you. I cut my finger on my mom's wing. I hope I can still dance.
And that's it for another episode of MCTV News. A huge thank you to Mr. Baudestein for keeping the Season 29 crew in check, reminding us that we always need more cowbell, and always keeping things fun. Stay tuned for Season 30 of broadcasting with a whole new crew of grade 9s this fall. So, last episode, and furthermore, your last episode.
Yeah, my last episode here. That is crazy.
How are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel nervous. I'm not on graphics where I usually am, but it's fun to host.
Yeah,
honestly.
It is. Good to bring you out into the limelight for your last episode here. We'll miss you.
Oh, I'll miss you too.
From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Avery Pelletier.
And for the final time, I'm Avery Thompson. Thanks for tuning in.
What the? They broke it! I like trees.
Make sure you get it, okay? Go.
Hey, fella.
You should take this class.
Yeah.
And myself, the mentally ill. Thanks for tuning in.
Avery! Bow down, peasants.
It burns.
Where are we hitting the gritty in the studio?
Fellow students in Ethiopia by raising money for certain fundraisers. The money raised is going to be used to buying.
We did it! We did it! Yeah! I don't know the word.
No eating here tonight. No eating here tonight. You wanna die.
Plug.
Local hair salon Quartz in Maine has been well received in the community and has recently reached a milestone.
You can stop recording. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue.
It is. It
Yeah,
do be
happy
my
birthday.
Thank you, Willie.
You're welcome.
You don't get to say we're welcome.
Oh.
Never gonna.
Mark you up. You gotta do it too.
Okay.
I said,